on your PC.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the icon of the software here. It's called, if you search for it, Biovia. Oh, Biovia. Yeah, Biovia, and then it's this Biovia Workbook Client Manager.
Okay.
It's with the small icon here, but I guess you won't have it on your PC yet. We first will need to complete the training of today, and then I think you can request it.
Fine.
When you will click on the icon, this little screen will appear, and basically here it's just to log in. So it's your corporate account. I think you have a U number or an E number.
Yes, yeah, I have E number.
Oh, an E number, yeah, and then your password. Then these two things should be fine, so you don't need to change these.
Fine.
And then you click OK.
Yeah.
And then the software will open. So it should look like this. So this is the starting screen.
Yeah.
Most important is this box here. This one here.
Okay.
This one and this one you don't need to think about.
Yep.
So only this one. And basically here we can create a new experiment, a new ELN. You see here that we have two versions. It's a standard analytical template and the same one but a GMP.
Mm-hmm.
You of course only need to use this one because everything you will do is non-GMP. So
fine.
Yeah. So if you click on it, you will then need to give a title, for example, training Sadia. Yeah, but you can still modify it later, the title. So if you want, you can give something quickly now. And then here in notebook, you need to click on current notebook.
Okay.
Yeah, because it will be then, current notebook will then be with your name instead of mine. So you click on it and it's selected. And then you can do finish and then it will create an ELN.
Fine.
Yeah. So that's the first step to create one. I won't continue here because otherwise I will create one and I don't need it. I will just now go to one of mine so you can see what's then the next step.
Mm-hmm.
So I will now go to one of mine. I will just take one as an example.
Can I read any of it like just as a template, so how the previous ones they are being filled, or I will not have the access?
Yes, yeah, you will be able to look at the ones we have. But I will now focus really on, if you click next, how one ELN looks like, and then afterwards I will show you how you can search for an ELN, how you can navigate through the different ELNs of different
people. Fine. Yes. Yeah, that would be fine.
So when you would have clicked finish, what I showed before, this is what opens. And this is in fact the ELN. And you can see here that a new tab opens, and in fact each tab is one ELN.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can open multiple ELNs and there will be multiple tabs, like if you would be on Internet Explorer or something. Yeah, so if you open it, you see that we have within our ELN here, we also have different sub-tabs. And in fact, these are the kind of information we will need to fill in our ELN.
Yes.
The first one is background. This is really like a bit, some information about the ELN. So you will have the title. It should be the same title as you gave before. So that's what I said. You can still modify it here. And you can write whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Then the gray fields will be automatically completed. The owner, to be your name. The workflow status, I will show you later what it is. Then when it was created and which template we are using. We are using an analytical template. Then this is very important. That's the ID of the experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then and then there are three fields we need to complete ourselves. First of all is the project. This is in fact each thing is a molecule in development. No, it's not a molecule, it's a project in development.
Uh-huh.
So for you will need to select not project related, because everything in terms of just development without a focus on a specific project, we say not project related, because
Okay,
for
fine.
you
Yes.
don't really work on a specific project, not project related. Substance ID you take other, because sometimes we use itraconazole as a tool compound, but here we will just say other. And then the purpose.
Are you working at triconazole?
Sometimes we use it, yeah.
So do we have here available in the lab?
Yes, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, because this is the compound which I was thinking to just like ask my supervisor. So if can I borrow some of it, or it would not be possible?
Yeah. I will have a look.
Okay, please. Yeah.
I will check then with somebody. Itraconazole. Yeah.
Fine.
For you it can be other then, and then the purpose. You can. Normally you have multiple possibilities here, but we can just say development.
Fine.
Because it's development work. Huh? So okay, this is the first tab. It's the background. Then we have a lot of tabs here, but for you, an interesting one is introduction. For everybody, but some of them won't be interesting for you. So
Okay.
Introduction here, you just give a brief explanation. You can say this. The aim of this experiment is to assess the disproportionation of this salt using this equipment and blah blah blah. So it's a kind of introduction of what is the aim of the experiment.
Fine.
There's no restriction here in terms of information you can put here. Sometimes we just say one sentence. If you want to give more information, that's fine.
Okay.
Then equipment. Here you can give which equipment you are using.
Okay.
And you can select it from a kind of database. So if you would need the XRPD, you have here a whole list. You can expand the XRPD and you can say, I'm using the Bruker D8 Advanced. We have multiple XRPD, but and then you click on it and then it will appear as a line here, or the Raman RxN2. Or the inform. I'm not sure if the inform will be here, but you can have a look.
Okay,
So
sorry, one question. So this Bruker, like the X-ray, is the flat plate one or the capillary one? D8.
Or
the
no,
Bruker.
it's the flat surface. Like we do it on small sample holders which are flat on which.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So here it's basically all the equipments you're using. Then we will have. Sorry, Then we have samples, sample analysis, and analysis results. This you don't need to think about. This is more if we use the ELN with if we connect it to other software. Here, for you, it's not important. So you can forget that. And also the new Genesis metadata, don't think about it.
Okay.
And then normally the text here is not here. What we can do is, so the ones which are shown here are the standard ones, but then we can import other ones. And here you have a kind of list of insertable sections, so things you can drag and drop to here. So one which is interesting is the text. So you just select it and then you drag and drop. And then you have a new empty text section, which you can write whatever you want here. You can, for example, insert the date here. You have a button here, insert date. For example, if you would like to keep track of what you're doing, you can fill it per day. On this day I did this. On the next day I did this, and so.
Fine.
You can even do it more detailed if you want. You can even here select, and then you have the time. And for the rest, it's really like a word section, and you can put it in bold. You can do underline it. Oh.
Sorry, can you please? You have added the date and time manually, yeah? You haven't pressed any button.
Yeah, no, I have
Okay.
added here. insert date.
Okay, fine.
And then it's automatically giving the date of today.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do time, it's giving the
Fine,
time
yes, yeah.
of now, the exact time. Yeah.
Yep.
So here, it's very flexible. You can type, you can give it another color.
Yeah.
Basic stuff. So yeah, you can also change the name. If you right click on it here on the tab, you can do rename.
Mm-hmm.
You can say measurements, for example, and then you can add a second text section.
Yep.
With data analysis, basic stuff. Yeah, so this one might be interesting, the text section, and then we also have the like an Excel spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
So here you have flexible spreadsheet calculations, and this is basically like an Excel file.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, for the rest, I don't think there are interesting stuff for you. And then there's just one more section you need to complete, and that's a conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
This is a kind of conclusion of your experiment. It doesn't need to be that long. At least you just need to complete or write something here. One sentence can be fine. If you want to add more, it's also fine. So we have the text section, the spreadsheet, but what you can also do is add files. So here you have an insertable section file.
Mm-hmm.
You can drag and drop. Then it's here, and then you can here click, and then you can just add files.
Fine.
For example, if you prefer yourself to work in an Excel, because in Excel it's a bit more easier than what you have here, you can also just work in Excel and at the end upload the file here.
Okay, fine, yes, yeah.
You see? Or if you have pictures of your experimental setup, you could add them here, or you can just copy paste them in this section.
Fine.
But then it's also important, you can also remove these sections. If you right click on them, you can say delete section. So it's quite easy and standard.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Then what is important is that from time to time you save what you're doing here, and that's here. You have save.
Yeah.
And you do just save, because it's important to do this throughout the day, because sometimes the system bugs and blocks, and then you have an issue if it's not saved.
So we write this ELN for every part which we are doing on regular basis, yeah?
Sorry, can you say again?
So I'm saying like this ELN number should be for every experiment we are doing, like it would not be only one ELN which is for all of the project.
You can choose how you do this. You can make one big ELN with everything, or you can make multiple ELNs. It's a bit up to you how you want to do it.
What would you suggest? What would be the easier thing?
Sometimes it's easy to make smaller ones.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Multiple smaller ones. But it really depends.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, like you will do you will use the inform.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, will you do on multiple days? It's not necessary to make one ELN per day. You can make one ELN that you use to describe multiple days.
Okay,
and then,
fine.
For example, here, if you add the text, you could say measurements day 1. Then you can add a second one, measurements day 2.
Fine.
See? You can work like that.
Yeah.
But if you are busy with your experiment, when it's ongoing, you can always ask me, and we can have a look what's best to make a new ELN or to put it under the same ELN. So
fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I said the save. Yeah, that's important. And then there's another thing which is important, is that when you close it here via the X, it will be checked in. And I think when you do the save, it's just saving it locally on your PC, but the check-in is like to upload it to the server to make sure it's backed up. You see, it's kind of additional layer of maintaining your data or that it's not lost.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now I explained a bit what you have within one ELN, and now I'll explain you a bit how you can search for other ELNs of other persons.
Yep.
And also a bit how it looks. So when I go back to here and the starting page, you can click here on Explorer on the left top, and then this here will open. Normally for you, if you click here on Current Notebook, you will see all your ELNs.
Fine.
But
Okay.
for you,
Yeah.
at the beginning, it will be only one line. So here, this is my notebook. So here, each line is one ELN.
Okay. Fine. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you can, for me, it's divided per project. But yeah, for you, you won't need to do this because you won't have that many ELNs. And so yeah, the different columns we have. The first one, I don't know what this means in fact. Well, here you can see the ID of your experiment, the DV number, and a number. This is really the identifier of the ELN. We have then the name, the title of the ELN, when it was created. And then here, this is also important, is the status in which the ELN is. And basically we have two. Plan and execute means it's open. Open, meaning you can, from here you can open it, you can work in it, you can save it, you can check it in again, you know, you're working on it. Once it's ready, once all the data is in it, you completed the different fields, then you can archive it.
Fine.
So you see here, archived, but for you, yeah, we will only do this at the end of your stay here. So
fine.
At the end, we will just need to archive it. It's kind of to make sure it's well saved in the system. So for you, it will be all plan and execute. And at the end, then we will have a look to archive them.
Yep.
And then this is more important here. Here you see if it's checked in.
Okay.
And so if I open it, I'll open. So right click and then you can open it. If I then, so now this ELN will open. If I go back here, you see that it's checked out to me. And so it's important at the end of the day, I really encourage you to do it at the end of the day, to always close it. And so throughout the day, you can leave it open and save it multiple times. And then at the end of the day, always close it and it will be checked in.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think I just need to show you how to look in the ELNs of other people.
Yep.
So you can here in repositories, you can go to NCE. You can expand it. NCE stands for a new chemical entity. It's a kind of denotion here for small molecules, because we also work on biologicals, so small molecules. Pharma science is our department, so you enlarge it. Then you will see the AD, DP, DS, and IT. Okay. The AD, DP, and DS are in fact the three big departments we have. So AD stands for analytical department, DP drug product, DS is drug substance.
Fine.
So the solid state, we as a group are part of the AD, analytical. So if you expand the list, you will see all the persons who work in the analytical plus people in solid state. So here you can then, for example, if we have Lore, you can click on her name. Then you will see here normally. Here she has two names. If you click on her name, you will see all her ELNs.
Who is the person who is specifically working in the salt disproportion?
Nora did some work on it, but she's not any longer in our group.
Okay.
But it will be difficult to search for that specific one.
Okay.
And for a specific ELN which is related to salt disproportionation. So
here for the quick search, we can't type it in like on at the top disk
Yes,
combination.
Yes, that's also a thing you can do. So you
Okay.
can go to the name of a person,
Okay. Or just type it in the word and.
yeah. Then you can do a search.
Mm-hmm.
You add a search, and then here you can select on what you want to search.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Like background,
Mm-hmm.
or experiment title
Yep.
equals, and then, but I don't use this a lot. And then you need to be able to full text, or here you can write this.
Yep.
Oh, it's a difficult word. Disproportion.
DISPROPORTIONITY. Yeah,
Voilà.
disproportion.
You can also search, but I don't know if you will find a lot, but you can
Yep.
have a look. So yeah, that's a bit the ELN.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Fine.
I don't know if you have other questions or.
No, just these. The rest I'm fine.
Yeah, but you see, it's still searching because there are a lot of ELNs.
Mm-hmm.
You see disproportionation, and then you can see. I think if the word is written somewhere in the ELN, it will show up here.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Voila. But yeah, with this I would be careful because in terms of confidentiality.
Okay, fine.
Everything on the specific molecule, I will write it in the chat. The UCB 1828995. This is covered.
Okay. 995 or 842?
Wait, I will send it in the chat.
Okay.
UCB 1828995. That's
okay.
Or is it 6? No, I think it's 2 here. Yeah, so this is the, sorry. Oh yeah, then. But you see it in the chat, huh?
Mm-hmm. Fine.
Yeah, so that one is covered by the confidentiality because there's a patent on it and blah, blah, blah. But all the rest, the things you can find here in this ELN, some of them are still in development, and so you should be careful with the
okay, yes,
sharing data.
Yeah, fine.
You see the point. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. But here you see this ELN here. The UCB, the number I just put in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
that's a code for the molecule. And then we have the line and then 3-digit code. And the 3-digit code means which, it's not which crystalline form we have, but which form we have. For example,
fine, okay,
if we have the free base, 8995, it's 000, as in the chat.
Yep.
When we have a chloride salt, I think it's 10. When it's a sulfate salt, it is
042, I think so.
Yeah, 042. When we have and so on. And so everything with the 042 of the 8995. Usually we use the 4 last digit to say it, 8995, because otherwise it's long. So yeah, those are specifically related to the salt that you will work on.
Yep.
But for this we documented everything very well in the reports. So the reports that I shared with you, in fact, everything is compiled.